already too much. I'm Ty.
TK.
I'm BB.
Genetta, LaSha.
And we are indecisive. As you can tell. Very indecisive.
Oh.
All right. So this podcast is definitely dedicated, like we said, to the 20-somethings. We are here to talk about all things related to being in your 20s, whether it's growth, whether it's staying still, the trials, the tribulations, all the good and the bad and the ugly. We're here to talk about it.
The whole phase, you know.
Definitely the whole phase. We're gonna cover lots of that.
Or we're gonna call it Little Caesar.
Yes.
Why?
That's an
Little
inside
Caesar's
that we
fine,
definitely have.
Why?
TK and I, we have this little inside about hot and ready.
Okay, yeah.
Hot and ready.
Okay.
Yes. Dating in your 20s, finding yourself in your 20s,
Yes.
growing.
But I'm TK, and what you?
She need to lay off the wine. You know what I'm saying?
As you can tell, she is the youngest of the crew here.
I'm 21.
Okay.
Yes, I'm that 20. I'm the first 20 something. Ain't
Right.
that something?
Right. I'm the second
Something.
20-something.
Something.
I'm the second 20-something. I'm 23. I'm Genetta, LaSha.
And I am the third 20-something. I'm BB. I'm 24.
And I am the eldest something. And I'm Ty. And of course, I'm 27. Yes.
Okay.
27.
Okay.
I'm seasoning.
Yes.
I'm definitely seasoned in my 20s.
Right. You've been doing this 20 thing a long time. So what
For a
advice you
long-
got for us
for a
real
long
quick for the 20s? We just starting.
My biggest advice to all people in the 20-somethings, no matter whether you're the low 20s, mid 20s, or high 20s, about to step into your 30s. The biggest advice I can give is don't fall into the sunken place and don't stay there too long. If you do find yourself in the sunken place, don't stay there too long.
Right.
Always keep pushing and moving forward.
Right.
I think as the youngest 20 thing, 25, I'm fine, wine, and 20, y'all. Yo, I don't know why, but I just thought of Wizard Kelly. Like, you know, it's Wizard Kelly, y'all.
Okay.
But I
Proud family.
Why, really? Okay.
But
You're definitely not in your 20s if you don't know Proud Family.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I think as the youngest 20 something, I've kind of learned that the sunken place is one of those things where you have to learn to fight for yourself. Like, and sometimes it's hard trying to find that fight within yourself, but once you do and you realize it, it's one of the greatest gifts ever given. It makes things so much simpler. Once you realize how strong you are, how independent, educated you may be, you in that fight, like whatever happens comes your way, whether it's a breakup, get arrested. Look, I know a lot of them.
Right. Got arrested.
Finding yourself when you religiously all that, when you find that fight, it makes life so much simpler.
Yeah.
So much simpler.
Yeah. I can do that. So have you been in a sunken place since you've been in your 20s?
I have. I mean, I've been in a few sunken places. Relationship wise, work wise. I mean, but it was when I turned 20 that I started going to therapy and actually talking to somebody like a bystander who doesn't know anything about you, never really, met you before, and you can just tell your story without judgment. I feel like that's all, and somebody's also there listening, and it feels like this genuine, whether you paying $100 or not.
Right.
So I think a lot of people have trouble with finding people that they can talk to and be comfortable with talking to without judgment. And being that, 21, you start to realize like you can't speak to everybody. Even if it's a friend that's a really good friend in the moment, you can't speak to them about what's going on in your life too much, because then they get into...
They can be judgmental.
Yes. And another thing that I've also come to realize, I don't know if you guys agree with this or not, that when you're talking to somebody, you're mostly talking to somebody about some of the bad things that's going on in your life, because you looking for advice, or you're looking for a shoulder, or to just get it all out.
Somebody that just understand. You just want somebody to listen to you at that moment.
But when you're talking about all the bad things, and you're not necessarily inputting the good things, like calling that same person like, girl, I got a raise, like, or me and my boyfriend broke up, then we got back together, did great for like 4 or 5 months, broke up again, but I don't talk to you about all the good things in that 4 or 5 months. I'm talking to you about the little petty fights. I'm talking to you about the big arguments, the breakups, the cheating. So sometimes I think, people create like a story or a background based upon some of the things that you tell them.
Yeah. And sometimes you can't really blame them for that, because it's like you telling me this information. I agree.
That's what sometimes it's hard to trust people. You try to be transparent, but you don't know how transparent to be. Because you don't know what they're going to take and run. Especially when you talk to people and you be like, okay, I'm sitting here talking to you about random stuff, and you're giving me information about your best friend that I didn't even ask for. So it's like, what you going to tell my business when I'm not around?
Right.
So I feel like it's really hard, to find genuine people that you can be like, okay, tell you something. You don't have to say, don't tell nobody. They already know, like, okay, this is between, me and you.
And I like what you said, but at the same time, I just got to keep it real. I ain't gonna lie. Like, all my friends, I love my friends. These my ride or die. You know how we do. But, bitch, I talk about y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Whether it's good or bad, sometimes I'll be like, damn, they getting on my damn nerves today.
Oh, yeah, you definitely did that.
But it's okay. But no, I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I'm not saying we all don't talk about each other or whatever, but I'm just saying, if I say, oh my gosh, BB, I just cheated on my boyfriend, and that's something real sacred, you shouldn't go to Ty and be like, did you know she just cheated on her boyfriend? It's like, dang, let me get a chance to tell Ty myself. I don't care if you telling her like, oh, she talking too much, or let me tell you what this B did. She just got on my nerves. I mean, we all do that. Right. But if you know something is sacred, like, I just lost $1 million or something crazy like that, or I just robbed a bank. Like, why the word you go like, it's really? Free information. Free information. Where I'm crying like, oh my gosh, like, Ty really hurt my feelings. I think she don't like me. Let me express that to her first before you go run back and tell her. Because then you start an unnecessary beef when I didn't mean it like that. It was just in that moment I was hurt.
Right.
But look, if you lose $1 million, trust and believe.
Anybody that's helping you before definitely stole it. I don't understand.
For real. I'm making the post while sitting next to you. Y'all,
you gonna be like, this bitch is so dumb. How the way you lose a whole fucking $1 million?
Like, where you lost it at? Where were you?
So you ain't got $1?
Right.
I ain't got $1.
You got
a penny to my name, girl. Lost all of it.
Oh no, you gotta have $1.
That's another thing in your 20s. You got to learn how to be fiscally responsible in your 20s, so that when you go further on in life, because life just be happening at a rapid rate. It don't babies. Yes, all unexpected things happen all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Car
prices are going up in New York, so things going on all the time. Okay.
And can I say this? Look, if you can't afford to put a tire on your car,
okay, used or new.
you need to go see your doctor and either get some birth control or some kind of type of
Because if you can't buy a tire, you can't buy no kid or pay for that for a kid.
Especially these roses.
Yeah.
But if you can't call Pep Boys and be like, look,
I need a tire.
Oh,
even Uncle Jimmy. You can't go to the corner, Uncle Jimmy, and sell tires on the road.
Right.
A shade mechanic.
I'm telling you. But yeah, in your 20s, life just goes so fast. I think I was in the same place when I was about 22, and I didn't realize it until I got out of it. Like, I just had graduated from college at 21, and then I turned 22. And, life was great. You didn't got your degree. You happy. And, the first couple months, I'm chilling. But then after a while, I was like, I got a whole degree. I ain't even got a job. Then when I did get a job, I got a basic job that I could have had with no degree. And so you start doubting yourself, like, why did I go to school to 4 years if I'm still working at the Burger King or, babysitting these kids that, little Sarah's doing? She don't have, a degree.
Right.
And so, and then me and somebody, one of my other friends got engaged at the same time. And that was the most happiest moment, in our lives. But then I was beating myself down. I'm like, dang, I'm engaged. I'm about to start planning a wedding. And I don't got a real job. Like, how this gonna work? Like, everything's supposed to be perfect. When I planned out being engaged, I was going to have my dream job. Like, everything was going to be perfect. So, since it wasn't perfect, I think I was beating myself down. And then I realized, like, everything is not perfect. Like, my friend told me, like, if you wait to get your life together, you will never do what you want to do because your life will never be together. And so, that's why I just started, accepting that the fact that, it is what it is. So, I started saying, you know what, I'm broke. But I'm about to live my best broke life. And then bam, I got to, you know what I mean? And then when I start embracing that and start doing stuff and, not just splurging on different stuff, but like sometimes buying a little bit of this for myself, I show a difference in myself. Like I was getting out that sunken place and then bam, I got a good job and everything just flowed. So if you just let life flow and just stop trying to be perfect, everything happens for a reason. Like I needed that mental break from a year with no like hard job, no school, and I couldn't see that, but God knew exactly what He was doing. Like I needed a break just to be doing nothing really.
Hell yeah! Just thank God you ain't had no churn.
Girl,
bitch. Life
happens.
I can't finish school now.
Right. I mean, like me personally, I think I really like started off on the wrong foot in my 20-somethings. And because I was pregnant, I was in college, and I was living my best life too much. Okay. And, I was being a little fast, got knocked up at 19, and I was a new mother at 20, so I didn't really get to enjoy, like, going into my 20s fresh, no child, no big responsibilities. I didn't get that. But I just stepped up and was like, you know what? I'm going to take care of my responsibilities because this is what I done lay here and did it, so I got to, Yeah. But I'm telling you now, I'm enjoying my best life right now, But I am married, okay? Yeah. But, like, I just feel like I agree with Genetta, like, being perfect. Like, you want your life. You think we think we have our lives in the palm of our hands. We can just map everything out. It's going to be perfect. We want it this way. We want to go to school. We want to get married. We want to do this, do that. But it never happens that way. Right. I mean, and if it does, it's almost like rare. It's rare.
It's like your plans and God plans sometimes do not align. And you be telling God plans and He be laughing at you in your face.
Right. I know God be having a doggone, I don't want to say the cuss word, but, talking about God. But He be having a shit show, like, laughing at us. Like, these bitches really think that this is how their life about to be. Excuse me, God, but I know you hear me anyway.
I think he cussed. There's no way in hell this man don't cuss. Okay, there's no way. Where we get this from? Okay, where we get these filthy
right? That's what I'm like.
You cussing up there like look at these little bitches.
The devil.
That's what everybody say. That's the devil.
It is.
That's the devil.
I blame the devil.
But you know what? Like I said with the tires, red light. You could be like, I'm gonna go to the gas station. And see, you know, boop, boop.
Exactly.
It be the devil.
That's
It be the
life.
devil. That happened to me. I was going to church and I had my nieces in the car and all. I was like, oh dang. We hit a pothole. I'm so glad we was right down the street from the church.
And you know the crazy part is, and like when you get older and you start realizing stuff like this, you start realizing like he probably stopped me from going into something that could have potentially
Yeah, I
took
think
my
about
life.
that all the time.
That's
Yeah.
so true.
Especially when I be trying to leave work on time and then I don't leave work. I'm like, you know what? God probably saved me from some traffic or something. And I'm over here being frustrated. You know what I mean? It'd be like the simple stuff you don't realize.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh my gosh. But yeah.
Yes, because God has saved me plenty of times.
Yes.
Oh, just like this weekend, Lord. Cause you know it's live PD weekend,
Yes.
and T.Y. can't be out there acting fool, get locked up. Yeah, I stay asleep. God, I listened to him.
You stay
He woke me up at 1 a.m. Like, girl, it's time to go. It's time to party now.
You
It's
jumped
safe.
up.
It's safe to leave the house now.
It's safe. The world can have you now.
The world can have me now, because girl, some of these people be having me messed up, and I be like,
Right.
I at least ask myself, well, what the fuck? At least 3 times. No, 40 times a day. Like, what the hell? Why? Just
Yeah.
why?
okay.
So, because a lot of stuff just happens, and you're like, why?
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. 'Cause
And,
I'm definitely in a different place right now.
yeah.
You know, I like to think that my children saved a lot of y'all lives. Okay, a lot of y'all are saved by the bell of them badass kids out here.
Yeah. And your
No,
children
they're not
save
bad,
your
but-
children save your lives too. I believe
Yes,
that too.
children save lives. I'm not kidding. I too got pregnant at 19. I'm sorry, drinking.
Definitely
At
need
19.
to see.
I'm about to say 16.
Watching 16 and
You was
pregnant.
by yourself.
That's what I was watching. I'm sitting there at 19 watching 16 and pregnant.
Like, ooh, it wasn't me, and then bam.
Okay.
I saw too fast.
Okay, now look at me, 19, having a baby. But, you know, I didn't get to, I think it was because I was used to not being able to enjoy the essence of a childhood or adulthood or teenagehood. Because as a child, I had to grow up fast. I had a little sister that I had to look after. It was a lot of responsibility because it was just me, her, and my mom. So while my mama was working, I had to be somebody else's mama. I had to be Mama Junior.
Yeah.
So, you know, once I finally was out of high school, I don't know.
You felt free.
Yeah.
Like, I finally don't have nobody to look after.
A little too free. 'Cause God
Okay.
said,
Busting it wide open.
I got plans for you, girl. Boom.
Don't put that
Now
on
throw that ass in a circle again. And I'm like, what? Met this man to back that ass up, okay? I met him to back that ass up.
Yeah.
I'm not backing that ass up on him no more, but, you know, I have a child now. It's been the best decision I ever could have made. I don't regret it at all.
You have a wonderful child, too. I must
Yes,
say.
he's a genius. I have a boy genius. Yes, he's amazing. But I like to think so because he's a Virgo like Beyonce.
Okay.
And Beyonce is the fucking truth.
Okay.
Like, hello.
Okay.
She's September 4th. He's September 7th. You know, it just works.
So not only do we want to be like perfect in our 20s, we are really indecisive.
Get
Yes.
your words. Get your words.
Yeah, please.
1 minute we want to be, you know, pretty young ladies, respectable
Right.
women. We don't want men talking us any kind of way. But then the next minute we want to be hoes and bust it wide open.
Right. Okay.
Okay. We want to go through that whole phase.
Okay.
Just so that we can just be done with it.
Or that little Caesar's phase.
Oh
as you
yeah,
said.
little Caesar's hot and ready.
Hot and ready.
Yes.
$5.
Yes.
But I'm telling you, and like it's easy to get stuck in this sunken place. And, you know,
depression is real.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We need not to overlook it or ignore it. We do need to bring that to the forefront.
That is so true.
Because even in our 20s, we get real depressed because we're too busy looking at other people's lives on Instagram, Facebook. It's social media. Somebody is fronting the bill for that.
And I was going to mention that, too, about the sunken place. I feel like a lot of us, we get in that sunken place because we look at other people and they put up this perception like everything is good, what life should be. And then when you meet them, you're like, oh my gosh, you struggling like I'm struggling. It's just like, we'll be transparent with people and be like, look, yeah, I got this good life, but sometimes I go home and cry. Yeah, I got this good life, but sometimes I just want to go to bed, but I got my 2 kids, want me to feed, homework, and I'm just, you know, stressed out. Like, you know, I feel like we need to stand up together and just be, like, real. Stop trying to paint this perfect world.
Picture. Yes. Like, after I had my baby, you know, like, I was just in this sunken place. And it was basically because of postpartum. I'm not going to take in anybody that's suffering from postpartum. Honey, I know what you're going through. And everybody is different. Like, nobody is the same. Nobody handles it the same. And that's depression. Yeah. When we get in this sunken place, you know, I know Kanye was in this sunken place. And maybe he was in an actual depression. But depression is a disease. Yeah. Like, that's not a word that I use freely. Like, oh, I'm depressed. You know, that's a disease. That's not something you just shake off the next day and like, oh, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people get that confused.
It's a mental health issue.
I'll open up to y'all. I do suffer and have been going through treatment for depression. And I can tell you, like, for people, it really irritates me sometimes when people be like, I ain't take my medication today. I ain't take my medication today. I ain't take my... And, like, for somebody who actually goes through something... And
needs it for real.
And needs it for real. Like, I'm not trying to show you that I'm crazy.
Right.
But, like, sometimes they take that and they try and, like, show that you crazy. And it puts a bad spin on us. Like, we looking like they
right.
Are. Like, no, we're able, for the most part, most people are able to manage it. I mean, me, it took years until I got until I was 18 for someone to realize, like, oh, she's really depressed. Like, oh, no, it's not a game. This is real. Yeah. And it's one of the reasons why I did start going to therapy, too. I mean, like, it's really hard for people who suffer from depression when you tell them that they're looking for attention, they're attention seekers, that, depression isn't real. You're just experiencing life. Mm-hmm. Oh no, you just sad, but you in a certain situation, you'll be all right. And it's like sometimes people try and tell you gotta push, and it's just like you don't understand. To get out of bed this morning, I had to push.
Right.
Okay, I had to push to stay at work all day. I had to push to stay in traffic to get home. It's different for some people at different times, but it's just like, you know, when you get to that moment where you gotta call out, where you gotta block the world out. It gets real. And really hard.
And I agree with all of what you said. Me and Genetta was just talking about this today. Like, black families in particular, you know, it happens in all race. But in our community, it seems to be like everybody say, oh, just pray about it. Well, prayer might not work right now because I'm on the edge and I'm about to jump off this bridge right now, honey. Yeah. So prayer ain't going to work. I need to hear the right words right now to make me not
Or maybe
feel
I
this
did
way.
pray. And he told me to go get help, and I told you about it, and you like, oh, no, God didn't say that, and you judged me. You know what I mean? Because I feel like God put therapists and psychologists here for a reason. So you should support and just be like, okay, you know, go talk to somebody, get all the help you need.
Exactly.
And I was just telling my little sister, words hurt. It don't care if you 24, 34, 52, 62. If somebody say something that hurts your feelings, it's going to hurt your feelings. And you have to be mindful what you say to people because everybody can't handle situations. Like, you know, TK is a fun person, a loving person. And I could say something to her that put her on the edge, and you just never know. So you just got to be careful. Just because you think people are happy all the time, you don't know what people go through every day.
And behind closed doors.
Yeah.
And another thing, too, like in our 20s, we so wrapped up on our best friend and, you know, like changing labels. Like, oh, this is my friend one day, but then the next day you got another set of friends. That's not real friendships. And if your friends can't check on you, and they can't send you a text, girl, you was on my mind today. How are you? Those are the friends that I like. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a consistent friend. I'm a dependable friend. I'm a person, like, you know, some months go by, and I think about you and I hit you, or some weeks or maybe some hours. Who knows? Just depending. But I don't have to be all up in your face all the time. But if you call me and say, girl, put on the sneakers, baby, hit me with the address. I'm already in the car. Okay? That's the kind of friend I am. When you call me, you tell me you need some ice cream because you and your boyfriend broke up, I'm going to come through with the ice cream. I'm going to bring my knife in case you feel like slashing his tires. I'm supporting you, you know? We ain't going to do setting his clothes on fire, bleaching, none of that, you know? But
we can always tell him.
Who knows who popped his tires? He could have hit a pothole.
Things happen.
Things happen, you know? But, you know, I'm definitely a supportive friend. I'm definitely a dependable friend. I'm very loyal. And that has been a lot of my problems and a lot of relationships that I have been in, whether it's romantic or friendship, that I'm loyal.
And sometimes you could be too loyal.
Yeah.
And you end up being hurt in the end. Oh my gosh.
And sometimes you treat people or put them in a category that they don't put you in their life. You put them as a priority, or you put them like, I'll do this for you. And they won't do the same. And you, when you do it for them and it's your time and then they don't do it, then you like, dang, I'm hurt. And I don't really care about, like, you don't talk to me, like you said, months or weeks, you know, but if I'm on your mind, you call me and check on me or whatever. But if I call you and I invite you to a birthday thing or a family social or anything, I need you to do my favor. You be like, oh, okay, I'll do it. And then you don't do it. But then you call me and I do it and I return the favor. It's like, dang, I always come for you, but you never come for me. And 1 or 2 times, that's not an issue. But every time somebody call you, you have to start looking like, or am I really your friend, or you just using me for what I can do for you? You know what I mean? You start knowing the signs when you start getting to your 20s. I feel like when you're in your early, you know, teenage years, you don't really see that. You like, oh, that's my friend. That's my friend. But that's really not your friend. That's just somebody in your season, your associate, you know, that you're holding on to.
That you can go and have fun with every now and then. They don't got to be your circle.
Right. Won't be your bridesmaid and nothing like that.
Right. Child, that was one of the biggest lessons I've had. One of the biggest lessons I've had to learn in my 20s was, you know, because I'm a very supportive and caring friend. Okay, believe it or not,
you late.
I talk a lot of shit. I will be late, girl. I will be late to my own funeral. Late. I will be late to my own funeral if you leave it up to me. But
you leave it up to me. If you go before me and I got anything to you, I'm gonna make sure you be late. I'm gonna tell her just ride around the blocks a couple times. She'll never be on time. If you don't start at 2, the body gonna roll in at 2:30.
Right. Listen, I'm gonna be late, but I'm like Jesus. I ain't there when you call me, but I'm always on time.
This girl compare herself
always on time.
All right.
But, you know, I was that friend. A lot of my friends felt like I was privileged. Like, they really felt like their lives was just so much harder than mine. I must have been living, they must have thought I was Blue Ivy or something. And my mama was Beyonce.
But you know,
they just really treated me like I should be apologetic for the things that I have or the things that I worked for. I guess they didn't understand the difference between what I've worked for and what was given to me because they just felt like I was always given or something like that. So I had to really weed out friends. I really had to learn how to weed out friends. If every time you call me and it's about some gossip, baby, you done wrote your own meal ticket on off the boat, okay? Because I'm not gonna listen. I'm just not that person. I don't want to be listening to all the latest gossip. Every time I talk to you, it's just about some gossip. It'll never be about no real shit. Like I've learned how to weed out my friends.
Substance.
They got to have wholesome types of substance. We all got to be working towards something. Mm-hmm. I can't have no friends that just sit on Facebook all fucking day long. There's no way in hell you have a job and you on Facebook all day long with the statuses. I don't even have Facebook app on my phone right now. Like, there's no way. Yeah. I just can't. I'm just not that person. Now, I mean, some shit crack off. Depending on my relationship with you, I might pull up. Yeah. I'm not going to say I'm going to just pull up gang strong for all my friends, because it's not. Right. Because I know
who to fight for.
Who to fight for and who not. You know what I'm saying? And then the ones that I'm going to fight for, chances are they weren't always they've never been in a position where they had to call me to pull up. Because they don't be in them type of situations. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have, like, my real friends, I mean, I talk to y'all every other day, if not every day. And then I have some other friends that are also really close friends of mine as well, that I may not talk to them all month long, except for one time. I might talk to them once a month or once every couple of months, because we all be so busy doing something. Lives. Right. We have lives. And I love friends that got lives. Right. Because I don't have time to be sitting on the phone with you all day, every day. Right. Like, or hanging out. Like, I don't have time to hang out. So
yeah, that's so true. You made a good point. I don't have all day to talk to you all day. We growing up. We got families and jobs. And we be tired.
And another thing that you said that I liked, Ty, is when you said about how your friends or the friends that you weaved out, they thought that you were privileged. One thing that people get mixed up is just because I portray a certain persona or I carry myself a certain way, you may feel like I'm privileged, but you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. Exactly. Like, I see my mom get her ass whooped, or my dad is gambling, or my mom is a crackhead.
Or my daddy is a drug dealer. That's why we drive a BMW. Like, we have a real 9 to 5.
You don't know my story.
We living at Gucci and stuff, but we hiding under the bed because we think somebody, about to come, get us type thing.
Right. And just because I'm so-called privileged doesn't mean that I don't go through the same things that you go through just because you so-called struggled or whatever. Right. We got struggles too. I feel like all of us were looked at as the privileged kids, but we all got problems. We all have that moment when we get in that sunken place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, let's just backtrack. Let's just put this all out here. Ty, she is privileged. She's rich. So I'm
an honorary Carter member.
So she's rich. So she does have different problems that we don't have. So I'm just playing. But I see where you're coming from. Like, we're in middle class. We came from middle class families. Our parents worked hard, so we wouldn't have to go, where they had to go and do what they had to do. We understood that.
All right. So this is the segment of our show where we do Clicktionary.
Not your ordinary dictionary, so don't go looking on Webster,
Google. It's not your average.
Nah.
It's not your average.
Okay, so this segment today, we will be talking about the double words. I know if you have any social media, you have been seeing statuses. For example, they'll be saying, I thought you broke up with your man. I thought you were done. And they'll say, oh, you thought I was done? And everybody's like, what do they mean? So it's like, let me break it to you. The second word time you say it, that means you're really, really serious. It's like back in the day when your mom used to say, I saw Alexis. And you said, Alexis who? You were like, Alexis. When they say it the double time, you supposed to know who that is. And so when they say they done, they for real this time.
For real. Not for play, but for real.
Hey, Tyler, that's your cousin?
Like my cousin?
No, like
my cousin for real?
Nah, for play, nigga.
Like that.
Okay, so that has been your word for today. I mean, word for today.
Yes, so definitely hit us up. Hit us in our emails,
on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. Let us know what's your favorite saying with the double word in it.
Right.
All right, you guys, that was our pilot of Indecisive. Let us know how you feel about it. Comment below in the comments. Let us know how you're feeling. I am Ty.
I'm BB.
Genetta, LaSha.
Sway tea.
We're tipsy. Good night.
Good night.